Welcome to the 5th episode of Profs Radio, the show to A-star your business by learning from entrepreneurs' own experience how to solve problems. I'm your host, Peter Martin, Director of Profs.biz, the only digital company you need to run your business easier, quicker and cheaper. Today we have Twitter guru, MayKing from MayKing Tea. Good morning, MayKing. Do you want to say hi to the listeners and tell them about what you do?
Hi, so my name is MayKing Sang, my first name is MayKing, and I'm from MayKing Tea, ta-da! And I am a tea note speaker, social media correspondent, tea consultant, social media consultant, and I love Twitter.
Thank you very much for that. Loving the energy this morning. Definitely had your tea, I think, this morning. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you've got to where you are today?
How have I got to where I am today? Gosh, well, it all started when my mother... Laughing at my own joke. How did I start? Well, I actually had a job. I was a corporate girl. And then a friend of mine asked me to go into business with him. And I thought, gosh, I'm a corporate girl. I like traveling around the world. That's what I do. And he said, no, you'd be great. Let's start a business together. So that's how it started. And when we explored the role of being a business owner, we had different visions for our business. So we kind of stepped away from each other, but we're still good friends, which is great. And then that was when MayKing Tea started, really. So that was in London. And then I think it's about 6 months later, got given an opportunity to relocate to Australia. So I had to start my business again from scratch. And it was social media that really got me to where I am today and got me to where I got to in Australia. So, you know, appeared on TV a couple of times, radio, managed to work with an amazing global artist, amazing chefs, award-winning chefs and all sorts. It was an amazing experience. And then immigration said, no, you can't stay. Go back home. So I had to go home about 2.5 years ago. So I had to start my business again from scratch. But it was amazing because all the 6 years that I was in Australia, made a lot of mistakes, had a lot of successes too. And so I sort of took stock of what I did and became a bit more strategic, but more focused when I came back. And then that was it, really. So that's what got me here today. That was a bit longer than you expected.
No, that's perfect. and you're right there. It is always good to kind of look back, reflect, kind of plan things a little bit more strategic, learning from the problems that you've had and kind of improving it. So you did touch on there that you'd had some successes and obviously some issues. Is there maybe a problem that you have had in your business that you could maybe share with the profs listening today?
Do you know, I think one of the biggest lessons that I would say for anyone who is in business or think of starting a business or is wanting to grow the business is really deal with the conversations in your head, the old mindset.
Yes. Because,
you know, you're going to have these demons and saying, no, you're not good enough. And then you've got friends and family who'll tell you, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? And you just got to push them away. You've just got to stop listening to them, you know, and they all love you dearly. You know, all your friends and family, they love you. They're just trying to protect you. You know, that's what all they're doing is trying to give you a big duvet to wrap around you, protect you. But no, as a business owner, you want to take that duvet off and just venture out on your own, but get a bit of help and support,
yep.
You know. So as well as the mindset thing, you know, if you are succumbing to the demons in your head, then you need to hang out with positive people. You need to hang out with other business owners, other entrepreneurs, you know, and feed from them, you know, learn from them. I mean, I don't mean milk them dry, but, you know, just really take in the lessons that they're trying to give you, learn from them and give back. Because when you learn and give back, other things, amazing things will come to you. So the mindset, definitely.
It's very true. Like there's a saying that I really love. It's quite a cliche one, but it's, if you think you can, you can, and if you think you can't, you can't.
Yes.
And it's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
In most cases. But,
absolutely, yeah.
But
I mean, a couple of days ago, I couldn't. No, I could not. But today, yes, I can.
I can definitely feel that energy coming from you. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. So we've heard a little bit there about how we can solve that problem with talking and being with positive people, but before we go and find out how MayKing has applied that in her life and in her business, I would just like to tell you a little bit about our community, Entrepreneur Profs, where you can meet other entrepreneurs and learn from them, as well as find all the tools that we recommend. Just go to entrepreneur.profs.biz. You can also join our free Entrepreneur Profs Facebook group. So you've touched on there a bit that sometimes you have to fight with the demons and the whole mindset thing. And you said a little bit of that was hanging around with positive people, people that obviously think along the same wavelength as you, which people who are employed or family and friends may not be. Is there anything that you've kind of implemented within your business, maybe any tools and stuff to help you along with that mindset and resolve that issue?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, when I came back to the UK, I just became more strategic, more focused. So strategy is everything. Now, there's a lot of business owners who are creatives and they want to, go with the flow, completely get that. But just a teeny little bit of strategy really goes a long way as well. Because I do believe in, what will be, and the universe can present us with some amazing opportunities and so on. But we also do need to sort of fight, going through the forest and just break down a few branches to get to where we are. And by creating a strategy that will help you. So, when I came back to the UK, it was effectively starting my business from scratch. No one knows who I am. So I had to work really hard to get known. I had to work hard to build relationships. I had to work hard to be likable, I suppose. And hopefully people like me. They like the information that I'm sending out. And hopefully they will buy from me, And so by becoming more strategic and focused, that was what I did. One of the things that I definitely did differently was I stopped being a people pleaser.
Good one. Very good one.
So when you were talking about your Facebook group, which is amazing, and I created a Facebook group in Australia 7 years ago before it became a thing, but I was a people pleaser. So I would spend 3-4 hours answering the calls, the comments, trying to help people, connect people with this, that, and the other, but I forgot to help myself. So my business suffered. So I was getting all these people who liked what I was doing at Queensland Business, but was it helping my own business? Probably not. Just a little bit, but not enough, So I think that one of the things that I did differently was to stop being a people pleaser. When I became more strategic and focused, I only helped people in the areas that I ought to. So although I've been in business for a while, and I could comment on various aspects of business, I'd rather just talk about Twitter. I'd rather just talk about social media. Yep. That's the only thing, even though I could talk about, setting up a business or, hiring people or writing blogs or whatever, but, get the experts on those areas. I don't need to answer those questions. I'll just focus on the Twitter and social media. So that's what I did. That freed up a lot of my time. And another tip, which I actually got from the lovely Andrew and Pete. Yeah. We love Andrew and Pete, don't we?
We do.
Go check them out if you haven't seen them before on YouTube. And Andrew and Pete, actually it was Pete who saw my phone and all these notifications are popping up. Pop, 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 pop. He said, "What are you doing?" And because I was distracted, I kept looking at my phone, and picking up the phone. Do I really need to see the latest tweet that's, latest person that's tweeted me? No. It's not that important. So he recommended switch off all my notifications, everything, emails, WhatsApp, Messenger, Twitter, socials, everything. And that's freed up so much of my time. Oh my God. So that's something that I did differently.
There's quite a few Chrome extensions and things you can get, can't you, to kind of restrict when you get your emails and things like that, and all sorts of little handy little apps, I think, that can help do that. But you are right, you can't be a people pleaser. We have our target market, our niche, and you look at the Marmites like Gary V, and they're just phenomenal, aren't they? And it's so much better. It's better to get people that really like you or dislike you, rather than having all these lukewarm followers who probably aren't going to buy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's much better to have raving fans, I think, than lukewarm. But thank you for sharing quite a lot of your journey there and giving quite a lot of tips and value to those. Is there, so as a Twitter guru, what is your top tip to maybe improve followers on Twitter?
Well, for a start, stop looking at your followers to see how many followers you've got. present.
Yep.
You know, if you want to grow your following, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, you have to be present. You have to actually use it. You know, if you schedule everything to go out, people will figure that out pretty quickly, you know. And on Twitter especially, it's your favourite platform as well, isn't it, Peter? And so it's all about engaging. It's all about talking to each other like humans. How would you talk to the person if they were stood in front of you? That's how you talk on Twitter. That's how you engage. And when you become more engaging, you help people without any expectation of wanting something in return or expecting something in return. That's how you grow your numbers, you know. So be present. And how can you be present? You know, we'll get involved in Twitter chats. So Twitter chats are an hour of your time, and there are lots of Twitter chats about all aspects of topics. So, you know, I have a Twitter chat about tea that I get involved in. You know, there is a Twitter chat about, there's lots of Twitter chats to do with social media or to do with business that I learn, you know, where I learn from others. You know, but getting involved in those conversations, just getting involved. I think when people get obsessed with the number of followers they have, you're sort of distracting yourself from the real focus of what you're trying to do. And in order to grow your numbers, if you get upset about how many followers, then it's really not going to be a great strategy. There are so many people who lurk on social media, right? Yes. You're nodding your head because you're one of them. Me too, right? Right. So, you know, you're trying to capture those people who are lurking. And because they're lurking, they're not going to like you. They're not going to retweet you. They're not going to talk to you for whatever reason. But if you're not present in the platform itself, then you're never going to get captured. You know, you're never going to capture their attention. This happened to me a couple of days ago, actually. I put out a comment. No, it was a dedication, as it were. He hasn't passed away, but it was a dear friend of mine. And I just, you know how Facebook kind of throws the memories of, 6 years ago, you did something like this or whatever. And it was a lovely memory, cherished memory, loved it. So I wrote a little dedication to my friend, and a few people like Delilah. A couple of days later, someone who went to a networking event that I was at, he said, oh, was that your boyfriend? And so we had a bit of a conversation, and I thought, wow, that chap who read that post didn't like it, didn't share it, didn't comment, and yet he knew about what I'd written. So, you know, same on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you need to get into the conversation. And if you look at the post and think, well, I didn't get a like, I didn't get a share, you never know, someone may have seen it.
You never know quite the impact that you're having and the seeds that you're sowing. I like what you say there about talk to people online as you would face to face, because it's like when people get in a car and suddenly get the road rage. It's like online they become different people, and there's things that they would say and post that actually to your face they would never do it. And I mean, I've probably been guilty of it, but it's like online it's just different personalities. But anyway, and lastly, what is your favourite software or tool that you would most recommend?
My favourite software or tool? My gosh. Well,
apart from Twitter.
So I was talking about strategic and focus, right? Yep. So what I like to do is to measure what's happening. So on a week-to-week basis, I actually have a couple of programs that actually send me an email, a T-mail, to see whether, the engagement has increased. Or, I don't really look at who's following me, who unfollows me, because there's lots of, programs that, follow people automatically and stuff. But I look at the engagement and the reach. That's really important. So sumall.com, SUMALL.com, they'll send you an email every week to see how you fare. And it's not just on Twitter, I think it's some other platforms as well. And then one that is specific to Twitter is TweetsMap. Okay. And that actually shows you where your tweets are reaching, which countries, which best performing cities, least performing cities, and so on. So I like to have a look at that as well.
That sounds really good. It's like Google Analytics for Twitter.
Yes.
That sounds really,
but
really good.
Actually, the Twitter analytics are pretty amazing anyway. The native analytics. So yeah, you should definitely look at that too.
Before you go, how can people connect with you? And would you recommend anybody that we should interview for this podcast?
Well, I think, well, you can connect on me on Twitter, of course. At MayKing, MayKingtea. I am starting to get into Instagram as well, I have to say. So, you know, you can catch me there if you prefer Instagram and my stories. And who would I recommend on your show? Well, on Twitter, as I said, you know, you can get involved in Twitter chats, you know, build a rapport, build a community and so on. And I'm actually involved in a community that isn't a Twitter chat, but it's an ongoing chat. So it's not every hour. It's just when you go in, you know, when you're free and so on. And the hashtag is SM Besties. Okay. Now, anyone who is included in the SM Besties thread will get a lot of notifications throughout the day. So it is possible to mute your notifications if you want to. But what's great about the community is that we are all business owners and we all get to know each other. We all, you know, talk about our family life and so on. But now and again, we will, you know, ask each other a question and about business, and then we go in and help each other out. So I would go into the you know, search on SM Besties and have a look and put a call out to see if anyone else would be on your podcast, because I think that it is such a beautiful community. No one is better than the other. No one is bigger than the other. And we all go in and help. And we're global. You know, there's people in Europe, people in America, in the chats also. Contact SM Besties.
SM Besties, let's go and check those out. We always ask for recommendations because, as we know in business, referrals is what is the best form of marketing that you can do. And there's always people that I won't know who could probably add loads of value to you guys listening. And that's why the recommendations are always asked. Thank you for coming on the show today. I do really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Love the energy. Do you just want to mention anything about the book that you're writing?
Well, seeing as you're giving it a bit of a plug.
Yes, might as well.
Well, you know, before we went online, we were talking about how, you know, when we were in business, we may have done some study and so on. And we see these speakers who have made their gazillions and they're up there and they're talking about, you know, sharing their stories of when they first started in business. But we don't know what happened in the middle, you know, the different rungs of the ladder. Yeah. And so that's what I want to do with my, you know, with my book. So my book is called From Making Mistakes to Making It Happen. Currently writing it. Do you see what I did there?
I did. I love it.
And so I want to share with you the first few rungs of the ladder. And I want to, you know, I'm quite open about the mistakes that I've made, the successes that I've had. Success means different things to everyone. I haven't made the, you know, the dizzy heights of your Gary V's, your Andrew and Pete's or whoever, right? But I have learned a little bit over the last 10 years of being in business. And so I want to share some of that. Yeah, you know.
If you are interested in that book, keep following MayKing on Twitter and other social media platforms. Remember to check out our community and Facebook group. Go A-Star your business today.